Everything you've been taught about power is a lie. You were told to be kind, to be fair, to believe that if you treat others with respect, they'll return the favor, that if you play by the rules, you'll win. But look around. Who holds power in this world? The kind-hearted, the soft-spoken, the ones who forgive too easily? The people who rise, who dominate, who shape history, are the ones who understand this truth. Power does not reward goodness. It rewards strength. It rewards fear. You may not like it. You may not want it to be true, but that doesn't change the reality. Weakness is death. History doesn't remember the kind. It remembers the ruthless, the conquerors, the leaders who didn't hesitate, who struck first, who didn't ask for permission, but took what they believed was theirs. And no one understood this brutal truth better than Niccolo Machiavelli. In 1513, exiled and disgraced, he didn't write a letter begging for forgiveness. He didn't write about justice or fairness. He wrote The Prince, a guide so cold, so unapologetic, that it was banned by the Vatican. Why? Because he told the truth. He wrote that fear is power, that mercy is dangerous, that a ruler must strike before he is struck. Machiavelli saw the world not as we want it to be, but as it truly is. A battlefield, a game, a place where hesitation gets you killed, and kindness, if unguarded, gets you betrayed. Still think being good is enough? Then you've already lost, because power doesn't belong to the best. It belongs to those who understand fear and use it. This isn't about cruelty, it's about control. And in a world where people follow strength and punish softness, you only have two options: rule with fear, or be ruled by those who do. Let's begin. Most people want to believe that love is stronger than fear, that people will follow those they admire, not those they fear. But Machiavelli knew better. Love is beautiful, but fragile. It is based on conditions, admiration, approval, convenience. It fades the moment you stop being useful. Fear, on the other hand, fear lasts, because fear taps into something primal. Studies in human psychology confirm what Machiavelli saw 5 centuries ago. When faced with uncertainty, the human brain craves two things: control and predictability, and fear provides both. When people fear you, they don't need to like you. They obey you because they fear the consequences of defiance. This isn't just history, it's reality. Why do ruthless leaders stay in power? Why do companies thrive under cutthroat CEOs? Why do even the most hated figures command respect? Because fear creates order. It demands attention, and it's reliable. Love depends on mood. Fear depends on memory. Machiavelli's words were blunt. It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. He didn't advocate for mindless cruelty. He advocated for strategic fear. Fear that creates boundaries. Fear that prevents betrayal. Fear that ensures survival. In the world of power, those who rely on love alone are building castles on sand. But those who understand fear, they're building fortresses on stone. Mercy is a beautiful word. We're told it's noble. We're taught its strength. But Machiavelli saw mercy for what it often becomes: a fatal mistake. He wrote, "A prince who is too merciful invites chaos." Why? Because in the world of power, mercy signals weakness, and weakness invites aggression. Look at history. Julius Caesar forgave his enemies. They repaid him with 23 stab wounds. Louis XVI gave power back to the people. They answered by cutting off his head. Now contrast them with Augustus, Caesar's successor. He crushed his enemies. He ruled for over 40 years. Or Stalin, ruthless, calculating, feared. He didn't give second chances, and no one dared challenge him for decades. Machiavelli understood something terrifying. Mercy does not protect you, it exposes you. The moment you show mercy to a threat, you give them time to rebuild, to gather allies, to strike back. This doesn't mean be cruel for the sake of cruelty, it means be decisive. If someone betrays you, don't hesitate. If someone threatens your power, eliminate them before they grow. That is how the game is played. In Machiavelli's world, you don't get points for being forgiving, you get replaced. So the next time you think about giving someone another chance, Ask yourself, are you being noble or are you being naive? Let's be clear. Fear and cruelty are not the same. Anyone can be cruel, but cruelty breeds hatred, and hatred breeds rebellion. Machiavelli warned of this trap. A ruler should be feared, but never hated. Why? Because people can live under fear, but not under contempt. The goal is to command respect, not disgust. Fear works when it's measured, when people know that betrayal will be punished, but loyalty will be rewarded. A wise leader builds fear like a fortress, strong, stable, unmoving. Not like a wildfire that burns everything, including their own foundation. History's greatest rulers mastered this balance. Genghis Khan was feared across continents. Cities surrendered at the sound of his name. But his own people, they respected him because he brought order, because his rule brought stability. He crushed rebellion, but rewarded merit. He punished betrayal, but protected his loyal followers. That's the art. That's the strategy. You must punish when needed, without hesitation, but always with reason, always with control. Be predictable in reward, unpredictable in punishment. Let people know that goodness will be honored, but betrayal will be erased. If you can balance fear without becoming a tyrant, you won't need to raise your voice. Your silence will speak loud enough. In the world of power, there's one mistake that kills more rulers than any other: hesitation. The desire to wait, to gather more information, to hope your enemies will play fair. But Machiavelli knew better. He warned, never let a threat live long enough to become dangerous. Look at Julius Caesar. He was warned about a conspiracy. He ignored it. He believed in his popularity. He hesitated. And on the Ides of March, he bled to death on the floor of the Roman Senate. Now compare him to Lenin. When Lenin rose to power, he didn't wait for opposition. He didn't give warnings. He crushed threats before they could rise. That's not cruelty, that's strategy. Machiavelli's principle is clear. If you must strike, do it completely. Leave no loose ends, no enemies to maybe forgive, no chances for revenge. Half measures are the road to ruin. Full control demands full action. This is the brutal truth. You either eliminate the threat or the threat eliminates you. In power, timing is everything. He who hesitates loses. So when the choice comes, act without emotion, without delay, without regret. Because hesitation isn't patience, it's suicide. Power is not handed out. It is not earned by waiting in line. It is not gifted to the most moral or the most deserving. Power is taken. This is the law no one wants to admit. The strongest figures in history didn't ask for permission. They didn't wait to be chosen. They seized power while others watched. Napoleon didn't rise because someone promoted him. He rose because he moved faster than anyone else. Because while his enemies slept, he marched. While others debated, he attacked. Machiavelli admired this ruthlessness, not because it was cruel, but because it was effective. He believed that speed and initiative win wars, not virtue, not intention, not approval. And he was right. Look around the world today. The CEOs who dominate markets, the politicians who control nations, the icons who shape culture. They didn't wait for an invitation. They made the rules. They broke them when needed. They understood this truth. Inaction is weakness. Force is clarity. Power does not tolerate indecisiveness. If you want it, take it before someone else does. Because in the end, there is no prize for being passive, only punishment. Here's the most dangerous law of all. Power is not just what you do, it's what others think you can do. Machiavelli understood that strength is not always about action. It's about illusion. He warned, men are simple and easily deceived. Appear weak and you will be tested. Appear strong and people hesitate. But appear unreadable and you control the game. The greatest rulers in history knew this. They didn't broadcast their plans. They didn't reveal their moves. They let others guess until it was too late. Julius Caesar let the Senate believe he was loyal until he crossed the Rubicon. Napoleon let Europe believe he was finished until he returned and conquered again. Even in today's world, the most feared leaders are the ones who say little but always seem 5 steps ahead. Power is theater. Control the stage, the lighting, the costume, and you control perception. So here's the law. Never reveal your full hand. Smile while you strike. Speak less than you know. Let people underestimate you, because when your enemies can't predict you, they can't stop you. And when your allies can't read you, they can't control you. Be the lion when needed, but always be the fox.